All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. And while the markets have been boring, I think it is kind of the time to be sitting on your hands and watching this play out, as I think we do see altcoins continue to bleed into this market. Because the one thing that we're seeing is whenever you have those volatile upswings after altcoins took a big leg up on the XRP news, you're inevitably going to lose some liquidity. We'll go over that in this edition, but also some altcoins I am watching, because this is the best time while that liquidity simmers down and while some of these projects start to be in the red for the week to kind of start taking a look, researching, and putting those watch lists together so you can accumulate whenever we do hit those value levels. So let's go ahead and jump right into the game. All right, and first and foremost, drop down, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on Crypto Banter. As well, quick shout out to our sponsors, Bybit down below. I know we are also holding a trading competition, or we're in this trading competition at the moment, so sign up for a Bybit account down below. And then for the US users who are looking for a new exchange after all this KYC nonsense, 𝗦𝗫𝗃 down below. They will cater to US customers, so you can choose between Bybit or 𝗦𝗫𝗃 in the description down below. NordVPN, I use this VPN every single day, and it's perfect for navigating crypto safely. You never want to disclose your IP address. You never want to disclose your location. So NordVPN down below. And then last but certainly not least, SophiaVerse. So SophiaVerse is our newest sponsor here. They're combining the world of AI and gaming, and I mean, they are killing it so far. David Hansen, the creator of Sophia, the world famous AI robot, and Hansen Robotics is on a journey to take Sophia into the metaverse. And this token on Seedify, so this launched on Seedify, is up 7x in less than a week after launch. So big shout out to our newest sponsor here, SophiaVerse. I'm excited with their business acumen and business background to see what they can bring to this space. So big shout out to them, and a great start to the Sophia token here. Let's go ahead and dive into the show, guys. And we'll start with the markets. Yes, I know. I think Rand said something similar. But, you know, it's boring. The market's just chopping sideways. We're not really seeing tons of liquidity, and especially when it comes to the altcoins. And while we can filter and see that there are some winners over the week, like Aurora, GameSwift's up 20%. It's their launch week as well, so shout out to them. Phantasma's up 10%. Some other projects here like Ronin, which we'll talk about in this episode, up 5%. So there are some projects in the green, but at the same time, stuff like Gala, 𝗕𝗵𝗄, Altura, XRP, Polygon, ApeCoin, 𝗪acity, they're all in the red for this week. And that is because after such a volatile pump for XRP, we saw this in one day play out. Let's just go. Yeah, we saw this play out within 24 hours, and that volume went up to $9.58 billion. And the volume has been nothing close to that ever since. So when all of that liquidity comes in, chasing the pump, buying, FOMOing in, you can only expect for after the news to hit for the market to cool off and for that liquidity to definitely simmer down. And that's the situation we find ourselves in right now, guys. I really think after such a big news event, after such a green candle plays out like that, and a lot of these altcoins like Polygon, Cardano, Solana hit those big uptrends, I think now's the time to go back to the drawing board, look at your portfolio, and see, you know, what you want to hold on to long term, what you want to hold on to into the next cycle, and maybe cycling into quality projects if you're still holding dead projects from the last bull run. And I think this is also the time to be researching which projects are continuing to build. And we're not going to go over a lot today because obviously you guys know I'm bullish on, you know, the Vulcan Forge, the Polygons, the Immutable X's, Avalanche, Gala Games, all these projects. You guys know I'm very bullish on these projects, but I'm going to go over a couple of key updates across projects I think are still undervalued via market cap and also are producing quality product, and then one product that's seriously on the rise and gaining momentum and showing that their gaming chain is potentially very undervalued. And then we'll go over a little bit of alpha at the end, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's go ahead and jump into this tweet that I posted. And I think this is true, guys. Web3 gaming, it will have another boom. Like, we will see another big time bull run. There we go. I made it a little bigger. Web3 gaming will have another boom. Now, despite what some people think, there's no quality games, a lot of Ponzi-nomics. There are plenty of those in the space, but the quality games that are pushing product and continuing to deliver, we will have another massive catalyst in the future, whether it's a mainstream game, whether it's a big time news event that drives the market, just like the Meta news event did last bull run. So when you look, I say Web3 gaming will have another boom. This one will be bigger than the last. And I like, obviously it's my tweet. I fully believe that, because whenever you look at last time, it was just based off news that didn't have any product behind it. But once we actually see the users come in overnight, the massive liquidity into the gaming side of these markets, I think that this run for games, because of the quality of product, we're actually going to see a much bigger run than the last gaming bull run. But it could also be the last gaming bull run that we see at this magnitude before regulation. And I truly believe that, because obviously we see the SEC, we see all the security talks, we see the ETFs coming across. So I think this next bull run, you need to treat it. If you're here today, you need to treat this and prepare accordingly, that this could be the last explosive 100x, 50x type of bull run that we see. And then the gaming sector, it could be even higher of gains, given how explosive this sector has proven in the past. So position yourself accordingly and enjoy the ride. I myself am betting big on distribution platforms, you know, Galas, Ultra, Vulcan Forge, studios, kind of like that same niche, infrastructure like Veracity, like Altura. You know, these types of projects in the future, I think, are here to stay and are all undervalued like crazy when it comes to the market cap. So please, I obviously, this is not fortune telling. This is not telling the future, but I do truly think that this Web3 gaming bull run that we'll see next will be one of the biggest. You know, it will be way bigger than the last time in 2021, but it also could be the last gaming bull run that we see before regulation hits. And then we don't see these parabolic altcoins. Guys, yes, in the chat, I agree. Render is goated. I'm completely with that. And Cryptosaurus Rex, yes, Ponzi-nomics. That's what they were back in the day. And Render is in my stack. Render's in my long-term portfolio. Absolutely. And I'll answer some questions at the end, guys. Let's just roll through a couple of altcoins currently that I think are definitely very undervalued on the market cap potential. But I think some of them have short-term catalysts that you need to watch out for. Now, Vulcan Forged, this one has unfortunately been on a downtrend. Now, ever since last year at this time at about 440, I mean, it's hung around in this range quite impressively throughout some of the worst news that we've seen in the space, like FTX, etc. But it is on the weekly and on the monthly, it is in a kind of a descending pattern. I think that this one could potentially continue to dip, but whenever this market cap is at this spot of an 80 million or lower, I think that this is a fantastic accumulation. They also have a similar catalyst as Wagmi Games, which is going to be in September. This was delayed, but in September, this will be exposed to 300 million different households across the world. So the mass exposure that these projects are going to get, I think, should definitely be on your radar. And Vulcan Forge has continued to deliver product. 10 upcoming products that you probably forgot. These are 10 new products in the ecosystem alongside their nodes, alongside their blockchain, alongside the games they already have, the DEX, the NFT marketplace. You see Vulcan Fight League, Vulcan 11, which is a fantasy soccer game, NFT Creator Studio, the Metascapes platform. So this is the metaverse side, the Elysium Launchpad. So early projects on the Elysium blockchain, the Tartarus VR. So this is virtual reality. Hackathon, the SDK. So I'm assuming where games can utilize Vulcan Forge tech stack, the Surge protocol, and then question mark. So we don't know what that last one's going to be, but I'm always impressed with their continuous development. And while it might be underperforming in this market, I think in the bull market, you're going to see this become one of the most explosive gainers due to the amount of work and the building that they have put together during the bear market. And another one, and this is on an opposite trend. We called this one a little over a month ago, and over just 1 month's time period, this one is, I mean, over at this point, a 3 to 4x on the chart over the last month. And this is Wagmi Games. Wagmi Games beta goes live, I believe, next week. And then also they will be exposed to that same 300 million household catalyst in September. And Wagmi Games has AAA graphics, unique IP, fun gameplay, and the beta is on the way. And their team is nothing short of impressive. They have guys from EA, Bungie, they have mainstream games to different mass markets internationally. I think that this one at this market cap, 37 million, while it has pumped quite a bit over the last month, I think that that Wagmi Games has a very bright future ahead of it. And I wouldn't be surprised, given the sentiment and the amount of whales entering this project. So like at this market cap valuation, we're starting to see like $100,000 buys, $200,000 buys at one time coming in on this token. So whales are accumulating, and there are some huge catalysts behind the scenes that when I talk to the team, I can't help but be excited here. So this is one on an opposite trend of Vulcan Forge in the short term. So Vulcan Forge is kind of bleeding until there's market sentiment changes or until this catalyst in September. But Wagmi Games is actually pretty much, you know, pumping, for a lack of a better word, leading into that news catalyst. So definitely keep Wagmi Games on your radar. I do think that this one can continue to run upwards. And then last but not least, as far as the tokens that I'm really keying in on right now, that's the Ronin chain. This one, I mean, we talked about it right when it launched. We did a little airdrop farming, or kind of like farming on their platform to earn some early Ronin tokens. But if you look at the all chart here, it's ugly, right? Very ugly. It launched at the end of the bull run, so January 2022. So the bull had just ended and we were completely crashing. This has been as low as 22 cents. And then we come up here, it's at 73 cents at $175 million market cap. And the development that the Ronin chain has showed, 𝗙𝗵𝗏𝗡, the 𝗙𝗍𝗏 Infinity blockchain, that's what this is for those who don't know what Ronin is. This is the 𝗙𝗍𝗏 Infinity blockchain. It has the most activity on a daily basis. The marketplace is extremely active. And then when you take a look, the sentiment, the liquidity, the users, the loyalty on the chain is quite impressive, obviously with the 𝗙𝗍𝗏 side. But then we see the CyberKong's recent mint, all 3,000 Ronin Zenkai CyberKongs minted, and only like a few thousand minted on the ETH side. So when you look at the comparison there, they're actually one of the altcoins that has shown positivity in this week. They're up about 6% week over week. They just had CyberKongs come build on their platform. I think that this will materialize into gaming. And as Nabil says in the chat, 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗡 is very, very dedicated. They are going to build out this chain. They are going to bring more games into this ecosystem. And honestly, they have a bigger war chest of capital than almost any project out there when it comes to gaming, if it, maybe excluding Yuga Labs. So in my opinion, Ronin is starting to pick up a lot of sentiment. And I think that with launches as successful as the CyberKong's launch, I wouldn't be surprised to see more games maybe speaking to Ronin. It might start creeping up into those Polygons, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓𝗋s, Arbitrums, Ronins, as far as the conversation for top gaming blockchain. I think that Ronin may have asserted themselves in that category here, especially showing how they minted out their side, but the ETH side didn't mint out. That was very impressive to see. And then just to wrap it up, some alpha here before we'll take like we'll take like 5 questions in the chat today because we're doing a late stream and I don't have too much time. But guys, there is still some time on the lock drop for SpartaDEX. So if you see here, phase 1 and phase 2 of the lock drop is still going on. So you have plenty of time to come in here, stake up some LPs, so liquidity pools, pairing USDC, USDT, ETH, Arbitrum, USDC, GSwift. You can put these tokens together in a pair, and then you can actually stake them for a Sparta airdrop. So what I would advise if you're going to get involved here, and obviously it's never financial advice, but this is a way technically to get free money from the SpartaDEX airdrop. If you look at it any way, you can go in here, you can stake USDT, USDC, no impermanent loss. You can pair them together. They will maintain their value. You can lock them up for as low as 2 weeks or up to a year, up to 52 weeks. And then you get a free Sparta airdrop without the sacrifice of losing funds. This is a fully audited platform, super secure. When I talk to the team here as well, the things they have around the corner are absolutely tremendous. So I would advise getting in on the USDT, USDC side. You won't lose anything from impermanent loss. And then you get that share of the 1.5 million Sparta on the airdrop. So this is still going on, I believe, up until August the 3rd. So August the 3rd is the key date that you would want to take advantage of this buy to be able to get involved in that airdrop. For anyone who got involved with the GSwift IDO across Bybit, across SpartaDEX, or that maybe got the airdrop, maybe you're holding, or maybe some of it's vested to where you can't sell. Well, they did just launch the single asset staking is now live. There are 3 core benefits here. And as you see here, the benefits in the future, it's 5% APY paid in GSwift token. In the future, you'll also receive fees from the 𝗕𝗂𝗹𝗋 modular blockchain, rewards in multiple gaming tokens incubated by GameSwift, and a chunk of the platform's revenue. So I do think that's super bullish as well. And then for the gamers out there, there is a really cool project called 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏. This one's up and coming. It's browser. It's eventually going to be mobile. They have characters like Vitalik, Elon. It's kind of got this meme feel behind it, but they're hosting a $500 tournament this weekend. It's Battle Royale. So it's like Apex Legends, Warzone, Fortnite. It's last man standing wins. $500 up for grabs here. If you're bored this weekend on Sunday, June 30th from 2 p.m. Eastern, I would maybe go ahead and take a look at the 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 tournament. If you got some skills in the Battle Royale side, this one's a pretty cool project, very under the radar. You know, I love to give you guys under the radar projects. So definitely check this out this weekend. $500 up for grabs in this tournament. And I see a question in the chat. Thoughts why GameSwift chose Arbitrum over IMX. So the reason they chose GameSwift chose Arbitrum over IMX, and this is just legitimate. This is not FUD. The activity on IMX isn't there. Gods Unchained is like the only game that has true active daily users on that platform. The NFT marketplace is rather illiquid most of the time. Illuvium's done their land sales there and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just, there's delays when you deposit funds and withdraw funds. It's not the easiest to use. And right now, it's just not that much activity. And that's just true. That's not FUD. The activity on Immutable compared to the activity on something like Polygon, even Avalanche, Arbitrum, Ronin even, it really does. I mean, it kicks the crap out of the activity on those chains. So I do think Arbitrum for now is ahead of the curve. Could IMX eventually catch up? Yes, but they need to change some stuff with their wallet. They need to change some stuff with the speed of the platform, and they need more games actively using the chain. So that's my thoughts there. Elongated muskrat. Polis. So you're asking about the governance token for Star Atlas. I'm bullish on Star Atlas. I'm bullish on Illuvium. I know they've been going head to head here recently. I think that both are going to do really well. I like Polis as a long-term play, but I wouldn't be accumulating now. I could potentially see altcoins take a little bit of a hit coming up. Ronin actually survived the second biggest hack in the industry. Absolutely. When you look at the charts here, I forget when I think it was like in this area, if I'm not mistaken, where that happened. And yeah, it was like $600 million hack. And Ronin still getting sentiment. They still have the daily active users. They still have some of the most gamers, true gamers on their chain. And you see projects like CyberKongz, one of the top tier IPs in Web3, building with Ronin. I think it's bullish for the future for sure. Thoughts on QNT Quant? I think it'll do super well long term. It's not really in my niche. I'm more of I niche down on the gaming side and metaverse, NFTs, etc. But I think that Quant is a really good long-term play. Hello Labs, I'm not too sure. What's your medium to long-term thoughts on Wilder World? I'm super bullish on Wilder World. Actually, I know that their product is about to, one of the pieces of the product is about to go live, and you'll also be able to kind of traverse what 𝗦𝗍𝗍 looks like. So I think that that's going to be a big step forward, and people will be able to participate in something in their ecosystem very soon. So Wilder World has fantastic updates on the way. And I think that once people actually see the product and get in there themselves, that sentiment will increase. I'm very bullish on Wilder World long-term. Thoughts on Activision? I guess it's a serious question. I'm like, is that a joke? You know, it's interesting to see the legal battles behind all this. I think Activision, all in all, it's a rug pull because you don't own your assets. They just sell you microtransactions that you don't own. So it's a rug pull. That's my thoughts. Joke, but not really a joke. Thoughts on Magic? Yeah, it's going to bleed in the short term just because there's not a lot of sentiment in Arbitrum gaming, in, you know, there's no real hit Arbitrum game yet. Once that hit Arbitrum game comes through, and if it's underneath that Magic ecosystem, I think it'll really parachute. But I think long-term, this is one of the best gaming plays underneath Arbitrum for sure. Gala versus Magic. I would take Gala, but I also think Magic has maybe... Ooh, tough. Gala has a better business. Magic might have better, like... If Arbitrum chain really does blow up for the gaming side, I could see Magic doing super well. So that's tough. I like them both. I would probably pick Gala just for the whole business purpose. Thoughts on Splinterlands? I like Splinterlands. I think that the game, kind of like Gods Unchained in that card niche market, I think that they're never really going to go away. My only issue, and this is not, I'm not like, not saying anything negative here. Token price isn't everything when it comes to the quality of a product. They have a great product. But my concern is when the gaming bull run started, this is right here. So like when Meta announced the metaverse, it completely just destroyed. And even back here, the bull run topped around like Thanksgiving. It was like November 20 something where the market really hit its peak for gaming coins. I'll show you an example. We'll go to Vulcan Forged. Yeah, 1129. This one was hitting all-time highs. Gala was hitting all-time highs. All these projects were hitting all-time highs. My only concern here is that it didn't do anything during the big-time gaming run at the end of last bull market. That's not a great sign to me, but at the same time, they definitely do have a good game, good product, good community. So tough for me to judge at this moment in time. I'll answer like one more. SpartaTGE price prediction. That's super tough. If we go over here to the lock drop, we can play with the initial market cap. You can see, let's just say it launches at a $5 million market cap. That would put it at $1.39. I think this is doable. 5 million market cap is like nothing. So I think that's doable for sure. And I don't want to like, oh, it's going to launch at a $20 million market cap and every token is going to be worth $5. Go get as many as you can. No. I'll be realistic. 5 million market cap is very realistic. And that would put it at a little over $1. So, you know, do your own research on that. But I think that this is definitely realistic. Remark, I'm bullish on Remark now that they're ZK EVM compatible. I think that long term, and especially if Polkadot ever comes back, I think that that's going to do well. All right, last one I'm talking about, because I'm seeing this movie next weekend. 𝗓𝗏𝗪𝗔𝗓𝗓, or however you say your name, who's taking in the premiere of the highest of stakes next weekend. I am seeing it. I'm not big hexagon. I'm not in Pulse Chain or anything like that. But man, Richard Heart is a captivating human being. I'm going to go see that movie for sure. And being in crypto and being a YouTuber in crypto and a long-term participant, I've been in the space now for 6 years. Man, I'm excited to go see this. Crypto on the big stream. That'll be really cool to go check out. So guys, like the video down below and subscribe for more every single day here on Banter and on In the Game. We're live 3 days a week here, and usually there's shows on the channel 5 to 6 days a week at the very minimum. So like the video down below, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. What are your favorite gaming altcoins to scoop up during this altcoin sell-off after the big liquidity that hit the XRP news? And I'll be back on Monday. As always, guys, play well, my friends.